Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. And a very, very Merry Christmas to you if you're watching on the day of release. Yes, it's Christmas Day 2022 and what a year it's been. I'm going to use today's show to do the usual shout outs and thank yous that I normally do on Christmas Day and let you know sort of like what's coming up in the next week, because there's some very big shows coming up on the channel in the next week. Speaking of big shows though, this is also a big show because it's going to be the last WhatsMap of its type. WhatsMap will continue into 2023, but there are some big changes coming and I'll talk more about those, well, coming up. Maybe not in today's show, but I will prime you for that in today's show. So 2 workshop maps, 2 Snowfall maps and plenty to rejoice about. Like I'm rejoicing right now for you hitting the like button. Thank you very much for supporting the channel and a very, very Merry Christmas. Very, very Merry Christmas. Okay, today's first map is, here we go. Quviasuktuq ajunaarneq by Lowry. I have no idea, okay? I think the inspiration is Alaska, but I've probably just killed some native language there. There's your start square. Yep, okay. Terrain heights, plenty of buildable space on this map, definitely, I would say. Some interesting coastline as well to play about with. The resources are there. I wouldn't say the strongest in terms of resources, but they are there and definitely usable. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, a nice mix of the little fishes going on there too. So there's a win also. Off to the workshop, Bob Ross inspired. Look at that. Anyway, yeah, inspired by Alaska, handcrafted mountains. They've done a really fine job. We'll be using the vanilla winter theme and, well, normally it'd be the realistic 1.2 LUT, but that's more for green maps. And I don't think it would really do even today's maps justice. So we're going with the Relight 2 Alpine LUT today in both of today's maps. So anyway, highways running alongside here. We've got a rail junction thing going on here. Just got a bit of an up and over, and it's going to work. It's going to keep the trains flowing very neatly. So there we go. Yeah, realism. Yeah, it's close enough. It'll do. So anyway, 2022, I haven't had a very good year. It's been a year of hell for me, and I've got a whole bunch of shout outs and thank yous that could go on for an hour. So I'm just going to pick a few prime people out, as always. Got a bit of a thermometer end to that road there, with a lump on the bump on the end there, with the rail running alongside it. So we're going to get rail coming in. Once you start building your highway across here, though, and connected to the other side, you might have a fair amount of traffic running through your city. So just bear that one in mind if you decide to follow that route with today's first map. So anyway, yes, first of all, get it out of the way now. Mum, I love you. I miss you. Merry Christmas to you. I really wish I could be with you today, but I'm pretty sure you're with me instead. A big big shout out to all of you. Right, mountains look really good on this first map. In fact, both maps have got some decent looking lumpy bits today. But yeah, a big shout out to you, the viewer. Hi, Merry Christmas. Especially if you've let any of the ads run, because it's the ads that keep the channel going. More about BonBonBuddies in a minute, but yeah, if you've watched any of my stuff, thank you very much for that. If you've hit the like button, double thank you for that. If you commented, triple thank you. But if you let the ads run, oh, quadruple thank you. So many thank yous. Anyway, yes, thank you. Without you, I'm just a middle-aged guy talking to myself. Yeah. Big thank you to all of the BonBonBuddies on Patreon and YouTube membership. We've got a whole bunch of changes coming, okay, in the next week or two. They're in prime sight already. I'm liking it. Look at the old snow melt clear here. I like that. That's just adds a bit of interest. We've got a couple of areas like that on today's first map. I'm calling it today's first map because that name is not worth repeating too often. But yeah, we've got all this hilly area here. This looks amazing. This area looks really, really cool. Well, chilly cool, actually. But yes, yeah, BonBon buddies, thank you all. You really do support me more than you can possibly imagine. Really do. And a thank you to Deacon PMP, the retired Mandalorian, and to Random5 for helping to maintain the Discord channel. You guys are amazing. I'm very rarely over there, but I don't notice you're not there. No, that clearing there as well with the old melt. And also to Random5, I appreciate you. You fall a bit behind what with your college studies and all that sort of stuff, but maintaining the map list, you really do help me out big time with that one. So well done, and thank you for that. Shipping routes on this map, we have one that does a perfect little route up there. I have no issues with that at all. That's all it really needs. And this one, which heads up this way, which again, I mean, shipping triangle there. What more do you want? Shipping triangle there. What more do you want? Should there be a shipping triangle at the bottom here? I would say not really. Because anything going from there up the other way will probably follow that loop. So I'm good with that. I think that's spot on. Definitely a little nod for that. Water flow in the start square, because I know that you want some chilly water in your start square. Got an interesting little river system going on here. There's not really much in the water flow position going on with that one, so probably water towers and pump your sewage into that, I would suggest. Oh yes, one more shout out. I do every year anyway, give them a different name every year, but I'm going to go with their real name, Lilia. If you're watching this, I think of you, well, not all the time, but a chunk of the time. I do. Do keep in touch. I miss you. I miss not having you around to chat with. Just or message with, and just come back wherever you are. Anyway, love the shape of that river and the underwater detailing on that river as well. For me, it actually works. That's my opinion. Yours might differ. Anyway, what do you think of today's first map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But make sure you're voting on Quviasuktuq ajunaarneq by Lowry. Okay, what do I think of this map? Not repeating it, no. Well, aesthetically, it looks quite good. It looks quite good. I think the mountains are comfortably 4 stars. The rest of the map, it's okay. I mean, it's fine. So I'm on that borderline between 3 and 4 stars. I don't think it can quite get the 4 stars overall. So we're going to go for a very high 3. Detailing, much the same actually. There's nothing much wrong with it, but nothing really to bring it to the next level. And I think the networking is just a little bit meh. Yeah? So I'm going to go for a medium high 3. Gameplay potential, I think it all ties in to be that 3. Fairly uninspiring build space in the middle of the map there, I'm afraid. But again, it's not going to let you down, so I'm going to go for a fairly high 3 stars. Because it's not going to break, is it? Quviasuktuq ajunaarneq by Lowry. Snowfall map, just in case you didn't know. Right, okay, we'll take a brief intermission. We'll come right back after this short message. And that's your short message. Thank you for not skipping if you have the option to. Okay, I like this Snowfall map. Very rarely do I feel that I like a Snowfall map. I like this Snowfall map. It's complex, it's busy, it's got plenty going for it. The standards are of a pretty decent level. 1 or 2 interesting talking points as well. Now that I've got all the big thank yous out of the way, I will talk about what's coming up this week. So that you are primed for it. I don't have exact dates for some things, but so you're primed for it. But we will be talking more about this map. The previous map was fine, but I didn't feel it had a huge amount of depth. Anyway, let's talk about today's second map, which is Winter Bay by laeTeal. I think that's I. How would you pronounce that? I-A-E-I. laeTeal. Okay. Anyway, Winter Bay. A very generic name, but you know what? It's not a generic map. It's very, very busy. There's your start square. You can't really see the dotted line, but it is there. Terrain heights, plenty of buildable space, but also plenty of lumpy hills to break things up as well. Resources are a little bit light on this map, but it's beautifully designed in terms of tree lines, that kind of thing. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's not very inspiring. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, much like last time, nothing, basically. That's your lot. It's, again, we'll be using the vanilla winter theme and the Relight 2 Alpine LUT. Right, so what's coming up this week? Map of the year. In fact, that's going to be starting this afternoon with the, I'm going to call it the preview show. It's not. It's the maps that didn't quite make the final cut. 4 of them coming up this afternoon, and you don't want to miss them, because this thing is, the preview show always gets the highest number of views out of all of the shows. I'm thinking, why? These aren't even the ones that made the final cut, and why? But I still feel that they need to be seen. So do check that out, and then every day for the rest of the week up until New Year's Day, we'll have the best maps of the year, in my opinion. And you don't want to miss that. You really don't want to miss it. So do that. Okay, just subscribe, notification bell, all that kind of gizmo, you know. Then also, I did say something about big changes coming, and they are mammoth for the channel. Absolutely mammoth. Here's your start square intersection. I think we're here already. Like the little turn off there. Like the I kind of like this as a start buildable area. There's just about enough space in there, and again with those hedge lines as well, and we have access over the other side of the highway too. I think this is quite interesting, and again the standards of the intersection and the highway laying are very, very strong. But yes, with the big changes coming, I will be in the next few days. I haven't recorded it yet, haven't even thought about exactly what I'm going to say yet. But I will be making a special show that'll explain absolutely everything that's coming. Also why there are changes, because I'm not making changes just to be a pain in the backside. I am making changes because there are going to have to be changes. There's no choice. There's just no choice. There's going to be a few bits that are going to be for BonBon buddies only. And so if you are already a channel supporter, you're already ahead of the curve there. If you're not, there might be some stuff that you might want to, like $2 a month was what, 50 cents, 50 United States cents a week? Not even that, 40 cents a week. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So if you find that you're going to be missing something, then you know what to do. Okay, don't you? I hope you do. But yes, that show will be coming at some point. With the rail's very good. We've got a little bit of trees on the rail line. A little bit. Not many, but a few here and there. And whilst this map isn't exactly there for the true realist in terms of the rail lines, for a standard Cities Skylines player, you know, your regular player, the one that doesn't truly understand how trains, you know, so the gradients they can follow, this is a perfectly adequate map for that kind of player. All right, if you are looking for true realism, there might be a section of rail along here that you might want to reroute, possibly. But again, it's far from the worst thing you're ever going to see, and it certainly doesn't put me off this map. I think it works in context of this map, so I'm happy to roll with it. But yes, so 2023, big changes. Hopefully, the big changes will result in the channel actually getting a little bit of momentum, because say this year's been awful. Those that don't know, amongst other things, I lost my mother, and yeah, that was a big kick to the you-know-wheres, and I just miss her every day now. But also I've been targeted over and over and over again, burglaries or attempted burglaries, and been multiple times at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, facing off with attempted intruders. I like this, actually. Love that little bit of detailing along there. But yes, we're up in the hills here where I don't feel the rail line would have made it, but there you go. So yes, a bit of PTSD going on in my life, having to confront criminals. And honestly, it's been a bad year. So all the stuff that I wanted to do this year hasn't happened. And check out this. I'm liking the way that this is done. Can you see the outline of the tile there? And a lot of these tiles, you can make out the outlines of where the actual tile starts and finishes. And you can actually see where the 25 tiles is. Like if we follow this one up here, there you go. You can see the edge of the 25 tiles running along the rim there. It's quite clean and tidy, and just a big fan of it. When tied also in with these slightly weird shaped fields that are just about big enough to work with. Those of you who watch the show a lot will know that I'm a big fan of field buying. It's kind of like tile buying, and you have to imagine that you're buying a field or a small cluster of fields. It can help shape your zoning to be non-grid-like. Let me show you. I don't know if I'll actually zone in anywhere, or I'll use a district tool just to... I might not mark it out, but anyway. But yeah, so we've got the districts. Where are we? There's that. You could have like one... Why can I not paint the district in? Maybe... Is it something you have to unlock? I'm not sure. That's weird. But anyway, yes, you could paint in like that little area. Then you could have another area along here by the highway, and you could just buy those tiles. And then you could use this little triangle here, could be for the railway station. And you could just buy and work within those, and it would just break you away from Grid City. And I think that the fields on this map are intricate enough to make for quite an interesting city build. Excuse me. So there's all that going in, isn't there? And I like some of the rock detailing. Well, normally I'm not a big fan of these Park Life rocks, but I think they've worked really well on this map, being used quite sweetly. But speaking of sweet, have we hit the sweet spot with the shipping routes? Well, let's have a little look-see, shall we? Well, we got a shipping route that loops into the bay and loops back out, which means every single through ship is going to go into the bay, whether you want it to or not. I think a more direct route like that would work better with a shipping triangle, leading with a single line going up into the bay area, maybe even round into that little enclosed bay at the top. Luckily, nothing went through and up the river because that bridge would have been too low. So I think that was a good shout from Teal not to do that. Tree painting, we've got some interesting stuff. I'm going to start with this because this is just decent standards. The thickness of trees along the bottom of the valley makes plenty of sense, and we've already had a shout about the tree painting for the fields. But what I noticed was this. We've got what looks like used to be a carry-on for the highways here, bending off and around. Look at the width here, almost like it's been painted in, coloured in. We've got a weird shaped forest there. It looks like it could be maybe a trumpet intersection at some point, linking to, what's this, another highway running up and down here or something, or wide road. And then that particular road here that we were looking at follows down through the valley here. I think there was originally a highway there, but it's not the only thing that looks like it's been removed post building. And that's a route down here as well, which again looks like it carries on from the rail, which possibly was a highway, because possibly again down here it looks like a possible trumpet intersection down there. I think there was highways running maybe across the middle of the map where the rail is, and so that this and that have all been taken out, I think, and just painted in a little bit too heavily. But it does help you see how the map design maybe was how it progressed from the early stages to the later stages. And they've made the right decision in removing those roads if that's what they've done. But what do you think of Winter Bay by laeTeal? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But make sure you're voting on Winter Bay. And it's your last chance to vote. Maybe ever. Maybe. Right, what do I think of Winter Bay by laeTeal? Aesthetically, it's right on the nose. This is what a winter map should look like for me. I don't think we're going into the next level, but it's definitely a standout design, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going middle 4. Detailing. It's, for me, busy enough to be 4 stars. Standards are very high on the networking, but again, it does look like there's been some in-painting of trees that could be a little bit more finessed. I'm still going 4 stars, but I'm going at the bottom end. Gameplay potential. This feels like a really playable winter map, and I haven't seen many better. I'm going to go middle 4 on gameplay as well. Winter Bay by laeTeal. Now, how many of these winter maps have got seal of approvals from me? I would say not many. So I think this one deserves it. Let's finish the season with a seal of approval. Boom. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone who's made a map this year as well. But don't forget, you're going to get the chance to see the very best of the maps. Maybe see one that you've missed earlier on this year. We've got a whole bunch of categories coming up over the coming 7 days. Make sure you're there, okay? Whatever you do, don't freeze. Hit that play button. That's the worst play there. Are you still there? Oh, good. You're part of the 20 now elites, but you only if you're using the words of the day. Alright, I'll be back later on today with part 0, the preview of the Map of the Year series. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas.